Top Dish Drying Rack. Number 1. Prepworks by Progressive Collapsible Dish Rack with Drain Board. Prepworks by Progressive Collapsible Dish Rack with Drain Board. Putting things together can be just as much of a pain as washing dishes, so when we discovered this product is already ready to go out of the box, all you need to do is push the bottom to expand as deeply or as shallowly as you need. We fell in love. It has a drain board if you want to keep it on the counter, but for those of us with limited space and double sinks who prefer the dish rack to nest in one side, this is the ticket. Prepworks is plastic and has holes in the bottom to drain water, so sitting over the sink means never having to deal with puddles on the counter, though the drip tray has a lip that allows the water to run off into the sink. Those holes also mean your dishes aren't sitting in water and can dry pretty efficiently. The rack has lots of grooves so plates and bowls can stack and stand easily, and one side has a slotted section for utensils. If you choose to expand the rack as deeply as possible, the slots become too large and you may have to work harder to get your silverware to stand up so that they can dry. This large but lightweight rack is just 2 pieces, so it's best for those of us who want to keep it simple. Because it's collapsible, you can slide it underneath the counter and out of the way if you want to use the sink or just keep it out in view. Number 2. Joseph Extend Dish Drying Rack. Joseph Extend Dish Drying Rack. The Joseph's Extend Rack offers a quieter kind of presence that we're totally in love with. It's a great rack for a small space. At a glance, it's just a small plastic rack with metal prongs and a utensil holder, fine, but nothing special. But take a closer look, because this rack is seriously great. The prongs offer a lot of flexibility for holding everything from standard dishes to oddly shaped objects, and they seem to hold a lot of items without too much wobbling. The only limit here is its small size, which can easily meet the needs of 1 or 2 people with a cramped kitchen. But if you're hosting a dinner party and want more space, the Extend Rack, surprise, extends to almost twice its size. The process is smooth and easy to do even when you have dishes on the rack, and it gives you a lot more space to work with. We won't pretend the grooved plastic of the extension is the most successful drying surface ever, but if you're someone who wants a small rack for every day with the option of something larger when the need strikes, the feature is a godsend. Also awesome is the drain spout, which can be opened to tip excess water into the sink or plugged if you'd rather deal with any puddles later. It's worth noting that during testing, we never actually witnessed water moving through the spout. It seems that a smaller amount of water will pool in the base, but larger amounts should be able to drain out. Number 3. OXO Good Grips Foldaway Dish Rack. This is a good product for a small kitchen, because it doesn't take up a lot of counter real estate and folds up so it can be put away when not in use. Assembly is simple because it's self-contained. There are pegs for glasses and 2 containers for utensils, and you can fold things up and down to suit your needs. There are plenty of drain holes and a spout you can open or close to drain the rack. As for draining, the rack's legs can be extended to make it tilt to facilitate water flow into the sink. The OXO has a modern look and the dish is dried pretty efficiently, but it is small, so if you have a lot of dishes this may not work for you. Also, if you want it to sit over the sink, your sink will need to be pretty small. Someone who doesn't have a large volume of dishes might be happy with this cute little one-stop shop dish rack. Number 4. Shanique Expandable Draining Dish Rack. This dish rack fits in or over the sink, and there is no drip tray or drain board. The arms extend so the size of the sink doesn't matter. But extending it doesn't create more space for dishes in the rack. It's very compact. If you want something to dry a few dishes, and we stress a few, that you can then toss under the sink and out of sight, this is the one you want. Draining nor drying was an issue and it had enough slots to hold plates and cups securely. A little assembly is needed to snap the utensil holders in place, but there are no other accessories. This is the rack for someone who occasionally needs to wash a plate and a glass, not a family. Number 5. PremiumRacks Professional. PremiumRacks Professional Dish Rack. Before unboxing the PremiumRacks, we never knew dish racks could have so many bells and whistles. Its countertop footprint isn't as big as you'd expect for something that can hold as many dishes as the PremiumRacks, but that's only because it happens to be a smartly designed double-decker. The bottom portion is your standard featureless rack, fine for balancing bowls or perhaps a colander, but the top portion holds plates more securely than most racks. A cutlery basket hooks onto the side, as does a second basket that can be topped with a lid specifically designed for sharp knives. The cup holder clips don't work as well as they should, but you have plenty of space to dry your cups on the rack itself, especially if you dry your cutting boards in the special cutting board attachment. The rack also comes with two drain board options, one meant to let water pool, and the other designed to tip any water into the sink, plus a microfiber cloth to set underneath. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all the features, don't be. The most stressful part of the rack is simply assembling it, which could take 10 minutes and a good look at some IKEA-style visual instructions, but once it's assembled, everything is fairly straightforward. All of the extras are optional, including the top rack, but if your cabinets are high enough to accommodate a double-decker rack, then we highly recommend this rack. It's sturdy, shiny, and uses space pretty efficiently. What could be so bad?